Well, hello everyone. I'm Gwen Preston of Resource Maven, and we're back at the Metals Investor Forum. And I am joined right now by Claudia Tornquist of Kodiak Copper. Thanks for coming to the event when you're in the middle of a financing. So let's just jump right into that.
Great to be here.
So you announced a financing a few days ago now, and immediately upsized it. So talk a little bit about the interest. I mean, your share price has gained during the financing. So just talk a little bit about the financing experience, because obviously we're in an interesting moment in the metals market.
Yeah, look, we decided to finance because we have lots of targets for drilling that we really want to get to. We still have quite a full treasury, but we thought it's an opportune time, with the markets being good, to just top up our treasury to make sure we have the cash to really get to work and drill these targets and generate value for our shareholders. And yeah, the financing was very well received. As I said, we upsized it. It was a board deal financing. So, and our share price has reacted positive. So clearly the market seems to like it. So yeah, all good.
I mean, I think that speaks to sort of the level of interest in significant copper gold discoveries, right? And I mean, this is a story that's been building for years, but I think it's really grabbed some momentum in the last little while. It's just like the need for copper discoveries, and I feel like investors are leaning into that quite hard. Now, I just used the word discovery, so let's talk about what Kodiak's goals are this year. You have 25,000 meters at least planned. You have the gate zone, which is already a large volume of mineralized rock. What are you going to do with 25,000 meters? What's the goal for Kodiak this year?
Several goals. We will first, that's where we start. We're starting as we speak, drill the gate zone further, because there's a lot of room, as our recent geophysical data shows us, to actually make it much bigger. We've only drilled a very small portion so far of the underlying anomaly. So that's where we start. We have a parallel lookalike anomaly that we now know of, only 600 meters away to the southeast. That's what came out of this new geophysical data as well. So that's very exciting, and we'll drill that early in the year too. And then we have a number of other targets on the wider property, which are like Gate, historically drilled, very shallow, with lots of copper and gold shallow mineralization, and have never been drilled deeper. And that's how we discovered the high-grade mineralization at Gate. We drilled deeper, and so we will take the same approach and replicate it at Man, Dillard, Axe, at our other targets. So lots of potential for more discovery. It's a very exciting year for our company.
For sure. And I mean, obviously, I'm excited to hear the emphasis on discovery, because, the discovery is the excitement. It's the, rapid shareholder gain, right? Part of the story. And that was clearly evident when you hit into Gate and your share price, jumped dramatically, as it should, because copper porphyries are dramatic. Do you want to talk about this geophysical? Because you already had Man and Dillard and Axe. Those were defined targets, like you say, that had historical drilling and that looked like Gate. So, for a year and a half, 2 years now, we've known that those would follow Gate. But then you did this new geophysics that created what we now jokingly, but also really talk about as the new pink bananas. So do you want to talk a little bit about what this geophysics was and why it sort of added even more targeting to the story?
We did an IP survey, deep IP, down to 500 meters last year in autumn, and got the results about a month ago. And they were incredibly powerful, because we saw a very strong correlation between high-grade mineralization that we drilled and the IP response, in this case, high conductivity. So that makes it a really, really good targeting tool, because obviously we'll now look, well, where does this high conductivity zone extend? And that's where we're going to drill next. And as it happens, this, we call it pink banana, is this sort of curved anomaly. We've only really drilled the two tips of the banana, if you will. And there is the largest part of it where we still haven't gotten to, and it will be very exciting to drill this further. And there's just a lot of room to make Gate much bigger than what it is now. And so that's where the drill will start turning, and I'm really looking forward to see what we can come up with there.
Can I put you on the spot? Do you have a favorite target out of the ones that we've just talked about? And if you know, do you know if Chris has a favorite amongst the targets that are out there?
It's actually a good question. I sometimes get asked that, and I get asked, why did we start the gate zone? Was that the best target? So,
Sure.
And I'm not sure there is really a favorite. They are in that respect very similar in that they all have shallow drilling. The reason we started at Gate was that there was one deeper hole that the previous explorer drilled in the downturn that ended in higher grade mineralization. And it was their last hole. They couldn't find anymore. And we saw that hole and thought, oh, that's interesting. And that's the reason why we started at Gate. But Man, Dillard are as big and similar in that they have as much historic shallow drill results and sometimes more. And yeah, so there's no, that was really the sort of almost random reason why we started at Gate, and we liked the other targets just as much. And obviously these new targets, the second pink banana near Gate, that's also very exciting because we weren't aware of this. And we can literally drill them from the drill pads that are there already, permitted already in the area. So we'll get to that very soon.
Fantastic. Do you have, how many drills do you have contracted for the season? I'm just asked because, you know, drills are hard to come by these days. So, so what's your setup for the actuality of drilling?
We are planning to drill with 2 drills, like last year. We're fortunate in that we are in southern BC in an established mining region. We haven't had any problems securing drill rigs. Much easier where we are than in some other regions. And for us, it's always about striking the balance between drilling fast and drilling smart, because at the stage we're at, you really learn with every drill hole and it informs where you go next. And we don't want to just throw money at drilling and drill unwisely. So it's always this balance. And we think with two rigs, that's a good balance to strike. We'll get a lot of drilling done, but yeah, drill smartly.
Sounds good. Well, I'm very excited to see what these targets turn up and the focus on discovery this year. It's going to be a fun year. So good luck out there, and I look forward to keeping up with the story.
Thank you.